Welcome to this evening's graduation celebration. Before we begin, I would like to go over a few administrative rules so that this is to help make this ceremony meaningful for everyone. Photography and video recording of this event are not only permitted, but highly recommended. The use of flash photography is allowed, but probably unnecessary. During the distribution of the diplomas, we ask that you refrain from refraining. Feel free to applaud, hoot, holler, shout, dance, happy dance, whatever. Exactly.
There we go.
Let your students know how proud you are of them. In case of emergency, well, we're already outside. We'll figure it out from there. And finally, have fun, be safe, and enjoy the evening.
Go Rebels! Go
There we go, I got it. All right, good evening, and welcome to Champlain Park High School's Class of 2020 Commencement, the Best of Edition. I'm going to stay on script even though I know that there will be points deducted. This is the part where I'm not going to cry. Daniel, Edison, Georgie, Grace, and Jessica. We're so proud of you. Proud of all you have accomplished. We're proud of how you've handled everything life has thrown at you these past few months. And we're proud of the young adults you're becoming. But most of all, for the parents here, we are proud to call you our sons and daughters. We hope that this ceremony gives you something to remember your graduation by. It comes with the love from all of us that are here. And now I'd like to introduce our keynote speaker, a man who these last 4 years has impacted you with much wisdom, Mr. Zach Weefel.
Thank you, Julie, and thank you, class of 2020. But first, before I begin, I would just like to say, stop. This is not a commencement speech. This is a public service announcement on behalf of our graduates. I graduated from high school in 2007, so I understand a little bit of what the world looks like to you today. Country was in 2 wars, the economy was beginning to crash, and the highest grossing film was Pirates of the Caribbean at World's End. So suffice to say, things weren't going well. I'd like to say we fixed things and share the secret of how we did so. I'd like to say that, but there were a couple of fires in my hometown earlier this week, so I can't really say that. And because we, my generation, my parents' generation, and the generation that came before them, the greatest generation, haven't figured out everything, I wasn't sure what to tell you today. I watched a lot of graduation speeches to prepare. And they often had similar messages of, don't worry about the end result, enjoy the process of becoming who you're meant to be. There's a truth to that, and I hope you do know that your life will take many turns you don't plan or expect. But you'll still have a fulfilling and meaningful life. But even though you'll continue to grow, you don't have to wait to become the person you're meant to be. People don't become great because of an innate greatness. They become great because they face a challenge requiring greatness, and they choose to meet and master that challenge. On behalf of everyone older than you, I think we've provided sufficient challenge for your life. It's left you to become the new greatest generation, and after 4 years of knowing you and watching you grow, I know the choice you will make. I know you will seek out challenges because you've joined debate and speech in high school, subjected yourselves to hours of research, and public speaking, and some guy dropping keys every time you made a really small mistake. I know you will choose to be kind because I've seen you support and care for each other, and you'll continue to do so throughout your life. I know you'll be a mentor and example to those who come behind you because you've been a mentor and example to your teammates and classmates. And I know you'll do the right thing even though as your coach, I know it will come after you try to do everything else before that. But even if I don't have better advice for fixing the world and finding your destiny, I do have a few practical recommendations. For all of you, and I can't emphasize this enough, learn how to cook. You are going to get a lot of graduation money, and you should spend some of it on a good cookbook. America's Test Kitchen Cooking School would be my recommendation. Investing the time to learn how to cook and cook well, it's an investment that's going to repay you every day with healthier food, better tasting food, better variety of food. Freshman 15 isn't a myth, so think about that. And if you cook dinner for your family 3 times a week from now until you leave for college, you're going to be a fine cook. And none of your parents asked me to say that. I want you to find hobbies, things you will stick with. Video games are fine, but they're not as fulfilling as things you can practice and improve throughout the rest of your life. Whatever it is, woodworking, gardening, photography, pottery, find a hobby you can stick with. Then I would recommend that you be mindful and purposeful of the media you're exposed to. There are more good things than bad things in the world, but the bad things are what make the news. Make sure you're limiting what you see and choosing to put good out into the world instead of just consuming the bad. And now some individual advice. Daniel, I'm not sure if you realize how much you've grown into a natural leader. Other students look to you and follow your example whether you try to lead or not. Be conscious of that power and responsibility. And when you do step up to lead, don't forget your Farnsworth's classic English rhetoric. It really does make a difference. Jessica, you've developed a unique voice and perspective and use that voice to educate and advocate. My only advice is to use that voice now. It's easy to get drowned out by louder voices with less to say. You put in the time to make sure you have something worth saying, so say it. And I'm not talking about Daniel being the one drowning. Edison, you have a tremendous amount of talent and ability. You should give yourself every opportunity to use it. Finishing a speech on the bus to a tournament or, say, the plane ride to a national tournament might not be giving yourself that best opportunity. Don't shortchange yourself. Georgie, of the 5 of you here, you're the only one who has already achieved immortality with your introduction to your informative speech on cameras. Do you want to give it right now? Last chance. You also spearheaded the first major fundraising push ever during my period as coach. I don't want to say rest on your laurels. I would say don't rest on your laurels, but you can rest on them a little bit every once in a while. Don't try to fix everything on your own. But do remember how many problems you've solved for the team when you bought 3,000 candy bars for us to sell. Grace, you do a fantastic job of kindly pushing back on all of the different things that we did as a team and making sure that everyone had the support they needed. I hope you will never lose that and will continue to make sure that you're speaking up for everyone on the team and everyone around you who isn't able to speak for themselves. I'm very proud of all of you. I am honored to know you, and I wish you the best. By the way, Daniel, that's epizoixis. Good rhetorical technique. Congratulations, class of 2020. I'm sorry, I didn't know who was coming after me.
It is truly a pleasure to be here with the 5 of you, celebrating your successes and all that you've accomplished. One of the things that I think about whenever I consider any of you is that you say, I can do that. What about me? And you take those opportunities and you always step up and you take a swing at it, which is just so remarkable. A few weeks ago, you all had the opportunity to write and deliver a speech for the opportunity to speak in front of your graduating class. And I'm pleased to tell you that while Grace wrote a speech and it wasn't selected, it is still an amazing speech. And Grace, we would like you to come up and deliver this now to those who are here to celebrate the 5 of you and all of their families. Okay, sorry if I'm rusty. I haven't done this in a while.
welcome family, faculty, and the class of 2020 to the most memorable graduation you will likely ever attend. Much like the majority of my schoolwork, this speech was written at 11:59 p.m. the night before it was due. Of course, I am kidding, or at least I'll say that to distract you in the hopes that no one will actually go and fact check me. Though this is the most overused saying in graduation history, I'll repeat it again, just for us. We made it. Against all odds, and when I say all odds, I truly mean all odds. We made it. Let me take you on a smallish 4-year journey, all the way back to freshman year. Wow, was I scared. Was it just me, or did the halls somehow magically switch around every period? And is that guy a senior or a teacher? I honestly cannot tell you. But as the year goes on, slowly the halls become less of a puzzle and more like a home. And the seniors, well, they never stopped being intimidating, but at least we were accepted into part of their family. Next came sophomore year, where the most memorable thing was just being happy that we were no longer freshmen. We strutted around the halls with our newfound confidence and quickly realized that though we were not freshmen, we had no superiority whatsoever. If you honestly remember much of anything else, please let me know, because much like the rest of our high school careers, this one was a blur. Though everyone's experience is different, I think we can all agree that junior year was a game changer. Finally upperclassmen, finally hitting a stride within our education and social lives. We studied for hours for one silly test and began to dream of what the future might look like. We wept when our seniors left us, but we knew what came next. At least we thought we did. Enter fall 2020, or as others call it, stage 1 of senioritis. If I'm being perfectly honest here, some of us have been in this stage since sophomore year. We attended pep rallies, homecoming dances, inhaled way too much baby powder at football games. We reflected on our almost 4 years spent in these halls, laughing until our stomach hurt, and crying until our eyes were dry. Though not all of us will say that high school was the best 4 years of our lives, I think we will all agree that these years contain memories and lessons that can never be replaced, many of which are rooted within our extremely generous faculty and families, who put up with us and our millions of questions and concerns, who guided us through times of confusion and celebrated our leaps of faith. I don't think any of us could have predicted how our year would end. Though it was in an unusual fashion, I choose to think that it can be seen as unique. We as a class and as a generation are bonded in this experience. We are the makers of this new decade, and I can't see the future. As my optometrist has proven to me, I do not have 20/20 vision. We don't know what the years ahead hold, but that's okay. Because if the ending of our school year has taught me anything, it's all that we need, besides classes, are the lessons from our past and the hope for our future. So I say to us, the class of 2020, as we graduate into this next stage of life, make mistakes, take the road less traveled, and continue to be unique.
Okay, I'm Miss Snell, one of the Miss Snells, that had the pleasure of being most of the students' advisors this year for the diploma candidates of IB. But I've had all of these students in class, whether it was debate or IB English, and I've also had the pleasure of coaching many of these students in speech or debate, as well as being a neighbor to some of these students. So it is with great pleasure that with the other Mrs. Snell, we hand you your diplomas, which we would be doing tonight, or I would be saying your names tonight anyway. So, do we have are we going to this? So, I am very proud to present to you the class of 2020. First up is Edison Jensen. Daniel Summers. Grace Shelton. Georgie Stammer. And Jessica Summers. I will say that I have presented many graduates at Mariucci over the years, and your class will never be forgotten because I honestly cannot tell. They all kind of blend together in my memory, but this one will definitely not. So congratulations, class of 2020.
Congratulations, you guys.
We have to count down? Well, yeah, because when there's a bunch of people, it kind of happens. Just counting. 3, 2. Are we going on 1 or 0? Okay. 0. 1.
Good job, Moms. Will you do it once more? Because then we'll shower with confetti.
Right about just to clarify, we're going on 0 again?
Okay. Okay. Ready?
Are we throwing it again? Wait. I don't know. Yes, we're throwing it again. Oh, throwing it again.
3.
It's the only one with the fluid white test.
Oh, that's too funny. You'd focus on it. If you guys want to get in front of the sign, a little different. Yeah, look, I was like, a lot of gardening done. Yes, I'm excited. Yeah, it's actually a downstairs. Yeah. I did the bathroom. I did the downstairs bathroom. You might hear me crying in the bathroom, but otherwise. I thought it was going to be white up and then Oh. If any graduates this year, maybe hopefully future readings. I know. No, they you can watch it online. Not cable access. Exactly.